What is structured manifestation? And is it the reason that you're not able to manifest what you wanted up till today? Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to the Masters of Creation podcast. I'm Liat, your hostess. Today I want to talk to you about structured manifestation. Yet structured manifestation, and I also like to call it architecture reality. And what is it? I'll explain soon. As you may have heard me talking about, is my journey toward finding out what manifestation is, and is it truth? Is it something that is really tangible? Can you really manifest and create in your life everything that you want? And I can honestly tell you that for most of my life, the answer for this question was absolutely not. And if you ask me deeper, I would probably tell you that I think that I can manifest really bad things. And I'm trying to manifest good things. And sometimes I have parking lot, but that's not really, where I'm aiming at. And I didn't realize or didn't understand what am I doing wrong. If it is a thing, if it really works, if it's something that is plausible, is something that is doable, is something that we can all theoretically can do, what am I doing wrong to not only not manifest what I want, but actually creating a life that I don't like? Many health issues, financial issues, relationship issues. And maybe, again, you've heard me talking about the fact that I have a BA in economics and I have a master's in business administration. And one of the things that I really, really like are models and logic. And what I used to say to myself, nobody else, I think, was willing to listen to me about this at the time, was that if manifestation is real, if there's something to it, if it's something that we can actually do, there must be a way, a structured way to create what you want. Because, I think, if you listen to podcasts about manifestation or you watch videos online, you probably see all kinds of things, right? You see people tell you to imagine what you want. And some people tell you to really feel how you want to feel. And some people will tell you act as if, change your identity, work on your nervous system, create a vision board, say this mantra for 31 days and everything will change. I love those videos, say this for 21 days and you'll see miracles and all of that. I love that. I paid more money than I'm willing to admit. Buying all kinds of programs promising that if I would say something, listen to something, watch something for 21, 30, 90 days, my life will shift. I can give you a whole library in my computer filled with courses and promises. And unfortunately, it didn't work. And I'm not saying that the technique doesn't work. I'm saying that there's something missing and it didn't work for me. Okay. So maybe for some people it works. I want to believe that, if people sell that for sure for some people it does work. But for me, because I'm a rough case, and I'm saying it, with humor, but there's a reason why everything goes hard in this area in my life. And the reason is because, I had to create what I created, and this is the Masters of Creation, and this is the structured manifestation. Because if one of those techniques actually worked for me for everything that I wanted, then I wouldn't be here today teaching you about manifestation. I would probably just, listen to some mantras and drive my car and do nothing. Okay. So the reason that it didn't work, and again, it took me over 20 years to really understand that, is not that it's bad. Mantras are good. Meditations are great. I love vision boards. I feel what I want to feel. I work on my nervous system. I work on identity. There are all parts of manifestation. But for itself, by itself, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because it's just one piece of the puzzle but not the entire picture. And this is the reason why most people say that manifestation is, a new age belief or something that, you don't, you maybe work with to create a parking lot, but not really to create the life that you want. It's because they're trying to change core beliefs with mantras, and you cannot do that. They try to change trauma with positive thinking, and it doesn't work. They try to do breathing to change their identity, and that doesn't work either. So, what you have to understand, and all of those are really great parts of manifestation, they are great tools, but those tools have to come in a structured way, in a strategy that actually has a meaning of why some step comes before the next one. And only then, when you really connect all the dots together, all the pieces together, and you understand the flow and why you're doing what you're doing, and you work on the different levels within yourself that are not in alignment with the reality that you want to create, only then you will be able to manifest. And I can say, and I'll give you, don't worry, I'll go into more details. But I can say today, after over a decade that I've been doing this myself and with thousands of people, it works. And it works every time. But it's not as simple as saying for 21 days, I am rich and I'm wealthy. And it's not as, doing a breath work and that shifts your life. Okay. It can change things in your life. But if you want to manifest everything that you want and do it methodologic and to do it every time, then you have to understand the structure. And let's talk about the structure. I'm not here just to talk about, buildings in the air. We're going to make it very concrete. Okay. So you probably heard me talking about the four realms of reality. It's the energy level, the mental level, emotional level, and the physical level. And there's a reason why I say this in that order. Most of us, we try to change reality from the physical level, right? If we want to make more money, we try to do more things, create more actions, okay, do more stuff to make more money. And most chances are that it doesn't work because this is only the physical level. It has nothing to do with your fears. It has nothing to do with your beliefs. And it has nothing to do with your identity and your soul path. Okay. So, what most of us do to change our reality, if I want to be healthy, then, I'll go to the doctor, I'll do all kinds of things, I'll take medications, I'll do yoga, I'll eat healthier. That's good. It's important. But if there's something deeper than that, it's not going to be enough because we are working only on one realm, and this is the last realm. Okay, remember the physical level, the level that most of us are trying to shift our reality and manifest our dreams or lives or goals, is the lower level of manifestation. Okay, the other level is emotion. Okay, and again, some of you probably went to therapy, saw all kinds of practitioners, worked on your trauma, worked on your inner child, and that's important. But as a standalone by itself, it is not going to manifest what you want. Okay. And even if you wake up every morning and you will happily think about the beautiful partner you're going to manifest and the beautiful car you're going to drive and the beautiful house you're going to live in, if you only work on emotions, most chances are it's not going to change your reality. Okay. Same with the mental level. The mental level, your belief system, your thoughts are very important and are a crucial part of manifestation and creating your reality. Your thoughts are part of the reality that you create and that you match in your life. But again, by itself, that's not enough to change your reality. Working on positive thinking actually sometimes can even create the exact opposite. Because if you try to change what you think and it has no basis, it has no emotional system that actually support that. There is no nervous system that supports that. You can think positively and say positive mantras, but actually what you do every time that you say this positive mantra, that you try to think positively, you actually create within yourself, you push the button of the exact opposite. Because, for example, if I tell myself I'm rich and I'm wealthy, okay, and I have a trauma around money, or my nervous system is set on survival, then every time I say I'm wealthy, I actually I actually turn on my trauma and I turn on my nervous system for survival, not for thriving, not for abundance. So I can repeat this mantra as much as I want, but I actually create within my field, within my frequency, the exact opposite. And that's why it doesn't work for most people. But if you do have a healthy nervous system that can support abundance for some reason, whether if you worked on that or is just you are one of the lucky ones that it just set on abundance to begin with, okay, and you healed or your trauma or you don't have any trauma around money, and you grew up in a family that money was healthy, and there were healthy talks around money, then maybe for you, if you say the mantra, I'm wealthy and have abundance, it might work for you. But not because the mantra works, because the mantra works with your inner system, with your emotional system, with your physical system. Okay. So it works in a context. Okay. It doesn't work by itself. And again, if someone doesn't have that base, doesn't have those beliefs, doesn't have this nervous system, doesn't have this emotional system to support that, those mantras will actually probably will create more lack in their lives. And then people come to me and they say, Liat, I used this mantra for 21 days and then I got bills. And then I got all kinds of people not paying me, and people ask me for money that I didn't even know that I owed them, and all kinds of stuff happen. But I've been saying this mantra over and over again. So why do I receive the exact opposite? And this is why. Because your system didn't hear abundance. Your system heard trauma. Your system heard survival. Your system heard it's not safe for you. And this is why it created actually more lack and not more abundance. Another level is the identity and the soul path level. Most of us, we try to achieve things in our life that is not in alignment with our soul. It's not what we came here to do. And you know what? Most of us, we know this at some level, but we actually think that what we want is it comes from us. I really want to succeed in that. It's not that my parents told me that I need this, but I really think I want this for myself. But really, it's not in alignment with their core values. It's not in alignment with their soul path. It's not in alignment with their identity. And so they do all kinds of stuff and they work on the emotional level and they work on the mental level, but it's not in alignment with their identity. When we work on structured manifestation, what it really means, first we understand we have to work on all four realms. I can tell you about myself that I work on those four realms literally daily, okay, because I have the different meditations and the different tools and the different conscious practices that I do. I actually work on all four realms every day, not deeply on all of them all the time, but I don't do anything that if I want to create results, obviously, okay, and if I want to create positive results and the result that I want, I don't do anything if it's not in alignment with my identity, if it's not in alignment with my soul path, if it's not in alignment with my core values, if it's not in alignment with my belief system, if my emotions are all over the place and my nervous system doesn't feel safe. I won't do that. Okay, I will work on myself first and then I'll go out and try to achieve what I want. Because I know that every action that is not in full alignment with the entire picture, with all the realms, will not create results. Or I will say more accurately, will create results, but not the results that I want. The exact opposite. Because this is the frequency that I hold within me. And I do nothing to change that, but try to repeat some mantra. That doesn't change my entire frequency. It doesn't change my identity. It doesn't work on my nervous system. It doesn't work on my emotional system. So we have to understand that every time, everything that we do in our life has all the four realms. It doesn't matter if you understand that, if you are aware of that or not, it's there. And it's working anyway. And it creates the frequency that you emanate and that you will see that will be reflected to you through your reality. So whether or not you are aware of your frequency, you are aware of the frequency that each realm is emanating, the reality that will be reflected to you is the one that is in alignment with your frequency. So you have to understand your frequency in each level and realign it to the result that you want to create. And only then you will be able to manifest what you want. And you have to understand that it's not something random. It's not sometimes I do gratitude. Sometimes I do vision board. Sometimes I'll work on my core values. Sometimes I'll use mantras. No, you have to understand that everything that you want has to be in alignment with all levels. And this is the Masters of Creation model, the 12-step model that goes through all the four realms. And in each realm, we go deeper to realign it to the reality that you want to create. And understand that even before I ask you what you want in the Masters of Creation model, we first reconnect to the infinite potential because you want to create not from your limited reality, but from the infinite potential, from your infinite soul. Okay. So you go to the limitless potential and then you reconnect, you understand your soul path, you understand who you are and what you came here to do. And it is relevant to each, not just to what I do, not just for my career. It's relevant to relationships, it's relevant for my health, it's relevant for my financial, it's relevant for everything in my life. Because my soul came here to experience all of that. And there are codes that are in alignment with my soul that are related to my financial, to my relationship, to my health, to everything in my life. So I need to understand those codes and I need to understand what my soul came here to experience. And after I reconnect to the soul, I go to my core values. Because if I try to manifest something that is not in alignment with my core values, actually my inner system will protect me by not allowing me to create what I tried, because my core values are being compromised by that. And only after that, I even start to ask, what do I want? And then I realign my mental level. And then I work on beliefs. And then I work on thoughts. And then I work on where my focus goes. And then I work on where doesn't my intention go. But it comes in a certain path, in a certain level, in a certain order that is really crucial. I cannot do one stage before I did the one that is previous to that, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to manifest. Because it's like building blocks. Okay, you cannot build your penthouse before you have your foundations. Okay, so this is how it works. With structured manifestation, there is no guessing work. It's not, okay, I'll try to do this. Okay, it didn't work, then I'll try to do that. Okay, so I'll try to do mantras. Okay, it doesn't work, then I'll go. No, it's a process that you can just go into every time and realign all realms, realign all your frequencies, and then the reality will just be inevitable. The reality that you want to create will just mirror and reflect your inner frequency by default without trying so much and mostly without doing so many things that are not really taking you forward. So one of the things that, I see myself as as a spokeswoman or someone that really needs to bring this knowledge or this understanding. I've been frustrated over manifestation for so many years. And I didn't believe it's possible because of those tools that were just part of this, part of that, and they don't work. Because my inner system could not accept that and could not act upon that and could not create reality and could not create results because it was not in alignment with anything within me. And once you understand the structure, it makes things so much easier. It doesn't mean that, everything I want instantly in the second happen because sometimes there is an alignment work that needs to be done. Sometimes things need to change so I will be able to be in alignment with that frequency, with that reality. But the thing is, I know to go back to the model, to go back to those steps and see and look and understand, okay, let's see where I'm not in alignment. What is not working for me? And it's not guesswork. It's actually very accurate. And when you do this step by step, stage by stage, you see miracles happen over and over again. I think I said it in one of the episodes is that I didn't come to the world. I didn't start working with people with the model before I saw within my own clinic, within my own life, so many people creating results using this structure. And I saw the miracles that happen over and over and over again with different people, with different belief system, with different past, with different present, with different problems and different challenges, going through the process, realigning every stage, understanding where they're not in alignment. Some of the stages you already do, okay? It doesn't mean that every time you have to go through everything. Okay, some of the things comes natural to you, but you're not even aware of that, right? Because you don't know what you're doing. If you're doing it right or you're doing it wrong, you're not aware of it, okay? So some of those levels you already do, and they work for you. But the thing is, maybe, if there are 12 steps in the model, and maybe you're doing 8 of them right, but 4 of them are in complete misalignment with the result that you want to create, you would not understand why. Well, I did all the emotional work. I don't feel trauma. I did all the nervous work. It feels safe. I did all the mental work. I think positively. But there's something there that you're not even aware of, and it can be so frustrating. And I know this firsthand that you don't even know where to look for. And then you try so many things. You go to so many workshops and you spend, oh my God, so much money. Just, basically looking for something that you don't know, you don't even know what it is. You don't even know what it is. And then you think, okay, maybe the mantra is not right. Maybe I'm not saying the right mantra. Maybe I need to change the words. I can tell you that more often than not, that's not the problem. If you say a mantra and it works for you and it feels well, and that's not the problem. Okay. The thing is something within your inner system that is just in a different frequency. And it's not guesswork. because going back, to me being a business administrator and learning, economics and everything in economy is model. Okay, we always have models to predict the future, to explain the past. There has to be a system. And I believe that the world that we live in has a certain order, and that things are not a coincidence. They're not, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes they do this, sometimes no. If it's something that we can do, if it's something that is actually one of our main strengths or main abilities in this life, there has to be a process. There has to be a structure, a model that you can go back to again and again. And it has to work every time. It has to work every time. Because this is how our life is built. There are laws, okay? It's not random. Life is not random. Maybe you understand the laws, maybe you don't, but they are there nonetheless. So if you understand the law and you understand the structure, it's inevitable that you will succeed. And for me today, it's not a belief that manifestation in Israel. It's not a belief that we can create our life. Because if it was just a belief, I would just, live it for myself and just play with that. For me, it's pure knowledge. It's the same as I know that tomorrow the sun will shine, and they're going to be winter, and after that they're going to be spring and then summer. For me, understanding creation, understanding manifestation is really the same as understanding that after the night comes the morning, because there's a process there. Okay, there's a system, there's a law. And I believe, and I know, again, it's more than a belief, it's annoying. And this is how I live. And really, thank God I created in my life so much bliss and so much really things that I could never believe that were even possible using the system. And I have, the privilege of doing this with so many people, seeing it again and again and again with different peoples, different characters, different personalities, different life stage, from very young people to over 80, and they all create and manifest what they want using the system, because the system is just who we are. It's how we build. Okay, what happened when you drink water. There's a process that is going on within you. Same, there are processes for everything, even if we don't understand that. Okay, and for me, teaching people and giving them back the understanding and the tools that we are the manifestors of our life, that we are the creators of our own reality, that the frequency that we hold is the one that we will meet in our life, that our life reflects our inner frequency. For me, this is why we came to this world. This is the essence of who we are. This is the essence of being a human being. We are human creators. We were built in the image of the creator. We were created in the image of the creator. That's what we came here to do. And for me, it's like giving you back your magic wand and your spells, and just know who you are and what you are capable of. And one of the most important thing in this master of creation modeling and in this process is, although it's a model and although it's structured, within the structure, you put who you are, you put yourself, you create your own success model. For example, okay, if I think of architecture, okay, there's a way to build a house. You need to create the foundations in a certain way, and the first floor and second floor and so forth, and then the roof. But every house can be very different, right? And within the materials within this house, you create a different, you put in different stuff because of, there's a different blueprint, but the essence is the same. And this is with the process, and I think it's one of the reasons why many other processes don't work for people, Because I'm not telling you, listen, I did this for 21 days and I said this sentence for 21 days and it created for me this and that. So if you do this, it will work for you. No. But I tell you that there is a power within you that is called focusing. Okay. And where your focus goes, energy flows. And then you find your own way of using this law, of using this tool, of using this stage in a way that works for you, in a way that your personality, that your inner system can accept that and believe in that and create within it. So although there's a structure, although there's a process, each stage is unique and you find your own way within it. And I think that's part of the magic, because it's not, listen, this it worked for me and it worked for I don't know how many people I worked with, so it will work for you. No, it's because, okay, this is the system. Okay, we all have two hands, we all have two eyes, we all have two ears. Okay, our physical system is the same, right? We all need to sleep, need to breathe, need to eat, need to drink, we need to eliminate, right? We need to do the same thing. And yet we are very different, right? So the structured manifestation is a lot like that. Okay, there are different things that will make me happy, different things will make you happy, different things will make me thrive, different things will make you thrive. Okay, but the system is the same. Like, we have the same bodies, same needs, it works the same. But yet, some foods that I will eat will be very good for me, but very bad for someone else. So we need to have the adjustment and to personalize the process so it will fit, whomever is using it. And that's part of the structured manifestation. It's not 1, 2, 3, do this, 21 days, 10 seconds, listen to, no. It's a structure, it's a blueprint, and then you put yourself within it and you make it personalized to you. So I hope it's kind of makes sense. So thank you for being with me, and I hope I made you think about some of those modalities and how things work. And hopefully, more than everything, I hope that those episodes give you the belief or the knowledge or the even just the hope that it might work for you, and that manifestation is real. And if you have a dream and if you have goals, no matter how big they are, no matter how, they seem to be very far away from where you are right now, then there's a process within you, there's a system within you that can create that. Because you don't dream about, whatever you dream just because. Because if you have a dream, there's a system within you that can create that. And your journey is finding the system, is finding the path to create this. But nonetheless, it's possible, it's there. Okay, so I hope that if you have big dreams, if there's something that you want to create within your life, then this podcast, those episodes give you the belief, the understanding, and the tools to know that it's possible for you to achieve that and to live this life, because I believe it is possible. So thank you for being with me. I invite you to share with me your intakes from this episode, your question for the next one. Please subscribe and rank the episode. It really helps us reach more and more people. I'm Liat Scheffer Ben-Yakov, and I'm your hostess and Masters of Creation podcast. See you next time. Thank you for being with us. I invite you to share your key takeaways and insights from this episode, and to send in your questions about manifestation for upcoming episodes. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we'd love for you to join us. Your support helps us spread the message and create a meaningful global impact. See you next time.